consultant, so I love taking people through the hurdles and the breakdowns and the ups that they face in their life and actually become victorious. And I was thinking about an Old Testament scripture, and that's the one that Pastor Orb just read about the Israelites going from Egypt into the Promised Land. And when I thought about that, I thought, it's interesting in life that we have these breakdowns and breakthroughs and breakdowns and breakthroughs through life. And one of the things that I actually talk a lot about to businesses is the fact that business is a series of breakdowns. If you think about it, it's hard to believe that, it seems rational that people can actually get that businesses are really a series of breakdowns. But when you talk to people about that, they kind of don't get it. Have you ever been around people at work where, they ask for one thing and you have to get something a little bit different and they get all upset and uptight about it? Ever happened to anybody here? So we can say that, people have a set of expectations, right? And if they didn't have a set of expectations, I'm going to say, or a commitment that's giving them the benefit of the doubt that's bigger than them, then they wouldn't be upset when you don't deliver what they're looking for. But life is a series of breakdowns as well. And it's funny, I was talking to this group one day about 2 weeks ago about breakdowns, and I was saying, the thing about breakdowns, see, you won't have a breakthrough unless you're willing to face a few breakdowns along the way. There's this kind of breakdown, breakthrough, breakdown, breakthrough. It's kind of like the sine wave, your EKG or whatever, it can go like this or it can go like this. But the reality is I started to think about the breakdowns, the breakthroughs, and I thought, wow, it's all about what we make those breakdowns mean that make the impact on the quality of our life. Can you hear what I'm saying there? It's the impact, the breakdowns, whatever we make those breakdowns or those hurdles or those challenges mean will impact us personally in our lives. So I'm sharing this with this business group, right? And so I go downstairs and I happened to use this analogy that day about the flat tire. You can get out the road because you get a flat tire, you pull off the side of the road, and when you have that flat tire, you get all upset about it. You can get out, kick, scream, hopefully it's not in the church parking lot, no cursing, no swearing allowed. But you're out there and you're changing this tire. And you get to make it mean right then and there. You got that moment in time where you can choose to get upset or choose to do the job and get back on the road, right? And some people get upset and do the job and get back on the road. By the time they get to their family's house, they're all upset and they make everybody else upset. So what I'm doing is I'm talking to these people about it. I walk down the stairs, we're done, they got it. Wow, we delivered the message, and I go to the parking lot, and there's my car, and guess what? I had a total flat tire, a big spike in the side of that tire, and I'm going, I cannot believe it, God. I get to be tested here. I get to be tested on what I speak and walk my talk, right? Or talk my walk. Both ways, walk, talk, walk. We say in business, you got to walk the talk, but you also got to talk it because you got to know what you stand for and your values and vision that you're committed to. But going back to the stories, I'm sitting there, and then Jen, one of the reception ladies, walks out. She sees me sitting there on the ground on a blanket that I luckily had left because I put the dog in my car the day before. So I put, or thereabouts, and I put the blanket on the floor and start changing this tire. And I'm going, I'm just going to have this make it mean. It's just, I get a little delay and I'm going to enjoy the time with it and I'm going to get to dinner a little late, but it's all good. It's my chance to practice what I just taught. So I get out there, I'm working on it, and the jack's going up. And then the jack, I didn't read the manual because I'm not a directions guy. So I just grabbed the jack and I figure it's one of those chassis jacks, you know what I mean? I'm trying to find a way to crank it up and the car falls down and kind of scratches something. I didn't tell my wife about this, but it scratches the other side of the car. It's about a 1.5-year old car. But all the way through the process, I'm talking, and there's Jen, and she's talking to me. I'm going, this is a nice social event, and actually, I'm feeling pretty doggone good. And I got out of the whole thing and unscathed, and I chose who I was going to be and what actions I was going to take in that moment. And guess what that comes down to? Ultimate responsibility. The person in your seat, the person standing in your shoes, has ultimately the choice. Because God gave us what? Free will and free choice.